Apparently, they did it for a year, and he was just dating her for publicity. And one of the Gina's friends leaked some of the texts he was sending to other people, including one saying he doesn't actually like black women. I have opinions.
Then you have magic.
I don't like shows like Love Island. Me personally, it's not for me. Like, I hope that everybody that like found love through Love Island, I hope that their relationship lasts, and I hope that they're happy and whatnot, and I wish them truly the best. For me, it's always like I'm worried about these shows because I feel like the depiction of black women is just not it. I don't like the way black women are depicted, and I just don't think they're being they get respected. Dark skinned black women especially, they're always the last one picked, because Love Island is the type of show where typically you have to match with someone, but there's, let's say, more women than men. Let's say there was one extra woman than men or something. So men have to pick that week. Men have to pick the girl that they want to match with. Black women are always picked last. Like, black women are always picked last. They're always picked last. Or it's kind of like they will match with a black woman because they don't want to send home. Because if you don't match with someone, oh, you might get sent home. So now you try to be buddy buddy with that woman just because you're trying to stay on the show. And it's like, girl, you don't like her. You're just trying to stay on the show. It's not just Love Island. I have a really, really hard time watching reality dating shows because I just feel like the representation, the way that they're treated is just not okay. It's not okay. Obviously, this is not to say that every interracial couple that's been on these shows have not worked out, I've had issues. That's not what I'm saying at all. I didn't watch the recent season of Love Island. I know people enjoyed it, and I'm glad for Nicolandria. This is not me trying to throw shade or anything like that. Like, genuinely, I just cannot watch it. I just cannot. It's a lot of microaggressions. It's a lot of like, in the way that the shows are edited, where maybe like black women don't get as much screen time, or like when we see them on the screen, it's like there was a season that I didn't watch the full season, but I watched part of it. It was a white man said that a dark skinned black woman, he was coupled up with somebody else and he kissed the dark skinned black woman. It was off cameras. The girl, the black girl told the girl that the guy was my shit, oh, by the way, he kissed me. And he's like,
no, I did not. No, I did not.
After the fact, I think they showed like the video evidence of them actually kissing. And it's like, not you accusing her of lying and contributing to the sort of like image of, oh, black women are jealous. Black women are jealous of white women. Black women are jealous. That this is why she's just trying to like cause some issues because she's so jealous and she's so angry and she's so this and she's so that. It's very deliberate and malicious. And now, of course, everybody thinks the black woman is a homewrecker. Oh, she lied. She's a homewrecker, or she lied because she was jealous of the other white girls. And somehow as rebuttal, a lot of times the rebuttal from some of the men is,
oh, you're jealous you don't have her hair.
Nobody said anything about the hair. Not you resorting to microaggression and racism just because. It's really gross. Why is the conclusion immediately, oh, she's using him. Oh, she's doing this for clout. Oh, it's like people don't realize that they don't have those negative preconceived notions about other ethnicities. Like, you systematically have a negative perception of these participants in those shows, and you don't see that there's a problem with that.
She's nice, but I feel like we don't really have anything coming. Oh, she's nice, but I feel like,
and I'm like, not you guys consistently saying that about black women. Is that random? Obviously, people have their personal preferences. People have their personal, whatever. But it's like systematically, somehow, if you are a dark-skinned black woman, you are eliminated on episode 1 or 2. It's not. I'm not even exaggerating. If you are light-skinned, if you're like mixed or light-skinned, you get a chance to make it further. You get a chance to make it further. You might even be like in the final couples, but you need to be light-skinned. You need to be light-skinned. You need to be mixed. You need to be whatever. If you're like unambiguously like a black woman, you will not make it far. You will not make it far. And it's like, you mean to tell me that every single person, every single man that goes on these shows, their preference is never a black woman every single time over the course of 10 plus seasons? It's predictable patterns. And it sucks, again, because if you bring it up, oh, you're a hater. I sometimes have a hard time talking about the microaggressions done towards black women or the depiction of black women, even like the depiction of black women on Twitch and like the promotion of black women on Twitch, especially like dark skinned black women, because it's like, I feel like I sound like a hater. I feel like people perceive me as if I'm a hater. That's something that it pisses me off so much. It pisses me off. And it's like, oh, but if I express that I'm angry about that, am I gonna play into that sort of perception that they have that, oh, black women are gonna be angry anyways, or they're angry about anything, or they're jealous, or they're, it's like, there was this thread a few months ago. Someone was like there's really not that many very like popular black femme streamers on Twitch. And I was like, I'm sure there are some that I don't know them, and if you know them, I will follow them. Out of all the like black female streamers that average over, let's say, over like 200 views, there's not that much that are dark skin. There's not a lot. And the thing is, you cannot talk about racism without talking about colorism. You cannot. And obviously, I am glad that there are some black women that are, you know, fairer skin or racially ambiguous. I'm glad that they're successful. This is not shade or anything or whatever. I'm so glad that they're successful, and I'm glad to see that sort of representation, obviously. But we do, when we look, already there's not a lot of black women that are like very popular on Twitch. Amongst those black women, almost exclusively all of them are light skinned. Almost systematically, exclusively. We do need to talk about that. We cannot talk about racism without talking about colorism. I do feel like also that for these types of shows, I think that everyone that goes on these shows, almost everybody is very conventionally attractive. But I do feel like the black women that manage to make it far on these shows are like exceptionally very conventionally attractive. They are like exceptionally attractive. Like they are so gorgeous. So it's almost as if, as a black woman, to like make it far in those things, you have to be so exceptionally gorgeous to be considered to be like similar level. The way some people are calling Alendria ugly, and I'm like, obviously you might have your personal preferences, but I'm like, ugly where? Like, what do you mean? She is painfully gorgeous. And it's like, oh, she's average. And I'm like, what? Are we serious? Like, how do you not see that you're not judging people equally? You know what I mean? That's also like another thing from these dating shows where like, if you're a black woman, especially if you're a dark-skinned black woman, you cannot be plus size. First things first, you cannot be plus size. Already, women in these shows, you cannot be, most of the time you can be plus size, but if you're white and you're plus size, you might still be able to figure it out. If you're a dark-skinned black woman and you're plus size on the shows, already they're not inviting you. But it's like, you have to be like exceptionally like conventionally attractive. The Jenna situation, I don't know everything, and I'll have to look into that. It's really gross, and that pains me a lot. Jenna and what's his name? Kenny. Jenna is black and Kenny is not black, and apparently he was texting people, oh, I don't actually like black women like that. Why did I do this? I don't actually like black women like that. I thought I would make more money from this opportunity. Nobody deserves to be treated like this. Nobody deserves a partner that doesn't want them. Nobody deserves to be used by their partner. Nobody deserves, I am not saying that Kenny is not attractive. I am not. He's attractive. But you mean to tell me? You mean to he was like, oh, I don't really like black women like that. Okay, he's not an ugly man, but come on, like, come on, be serious. She is so gorgeous. The fact that people don't see that double standard is really shocking to me, I'm gonna say. There are so many things to say about beauty standards and about like being a person trying to navigate that, especially being like a Black woman, because Black people are perceived, or Black women are perceived to be like almost like opposite, you know, to like their European beauty standards and whatnot. There's a video that I have in mind of a specific moment in like Pop the Balloon. And also Pop the Balloon is a Black show. It's Black women and Black men. It's a heteronormative, you know, dating show. You notice that women that tend to have more like Afrocentric features, that wear their hair natural, for example, and wear their hair natural and that have a hair texture that is closer to mine, are less likely to be picked. There was the clip that was going around, and I didn't agree with people's takes because the girl had hair texture like mine. Her hair would look exactly like mine. And the guy was like, oh, I don't like short hair.
And now is she someone that's your type?
Not so much.
And why not?
I'll say more so like the hair. So more so attracted to longer hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Whether hair is in the afro, you can tell the length, right? Like you cannot tell the length. You cannot tell the length. The hair is curly, right? Or whatever. The hair is kinky, it's curly, you cannot tell the length. So it's just kind of like, and the thing is I cannot prove that you don't like afro textured hair, but I'm curious to know if she had hair that seemed to be the afro seemed to be in that similar size, but it was a different hair texture, would you say the same thing? If she had the same hair length, but it was straightened out, would you say that the hair is short? Like, I don't have the proof. But it's curious how the girl next to her had looser curl pattern and you didn't have an issue with that. I will always support, you know, Black women doing things that brings them joy and like, you know, expressing themselves and putting themselves out there, because I can see how until you put yourself out there and you create that representation, there's not necessarily going to be the representation. You can actually bring changes, if that makes sense. I can understand that sort of aspect. Unfortunately, I'm too annoyed, I'm too irritated, I'm too whatever you want to, adjective you want to put in there. I'm too all these different things to go on a show like this. Is for me, I don't want to be humiliated that way. You know what I mean? I cannot speak for every country or whatever, but it's the same situation for a lot of African countries where, you know, people do tend to want to use, you know, skin whitening products. We have to recognize that it's a result of colonization, it's a result of slavery, it's a result of racism, it's a result of all of classism, it's a result of all these systems of oppression. And people are trying their best to navigate through that. I really want to make it clear that I'm not shitting on, oh, Black women that decide to do certain things or whatever. We're all trying to navigate the system the best that we can. You have your bodily autonomy, and you can absolutely do things that bring you joy. If that's the way that life will bring you joy, I'm not gonna sit here and like shit on you. I never, ever wanted to come across as how dare they do that. Like they're trying their best, and I do hope that we reach a point where we don't feel the need to appease as much to white supremacy. We don't feel the need to appease as much to like white European beauty standards, Western beauty standards, whatever. That's also important for me. Like even if, let's say, of course there's Black women that I don't agree with things that they say and whatnot, but I do need to be more careful of the way that I talk about those things, because I don't want to create a situation where people think it's okay to kind of like dunk, because I do feel like people dunk harder on Black people, on BIPOC people, but especially Black people that do something that was wrong versus a white person or versus someone that is not Black. So it's like, yes, I disagree with what you did, but like, let's still be mindful. Yeah, you can check out my YouTube channel if you're curious. I do have some videos that talk about like Black identity. They're kind of older, but I did release a video on Black hair. And this is not to say that wigs are bad. This is not to say that whatever, like, I love a wig. I literally love wigs. All shapes, all sizes, straight, kinky, da-da-da. But it's also important for me to do the exercise of kind of like, wait a minute, is this my personal style, or is this so that I can be perceived as more conventionally attractive? And that line for me, at times, can be difficult to find. I don't, sometimes it's hard for me to see where that line ends. At the end of the day, it's hair. Hair should be whatever you want it to be. It should be fun. It should be whatever you want it to be. Whatever allows you to express yourself, that's what it should be. Regardless of what it is. You want a wig that's all the way to your toes? Yes. You rock that wig. You rock that wig. You want braids all the way to your knees? Yes, as you should. I don't think I could because that's way too heavy, but I respect it. And unfortunately, I do feel prettier. I love braids. Nothing wrong with braids, but nothing wrong with anything. Nothing wrong with anything. But I do feel prettier when I have a wig that's like straight. I do feel prettier at times, or more, I'm going to go on Twitch and I'm going to be more palatable if my hair is not like this. I feel like I'm like, oh, today I'm more palatable. That's not the terms that I use for myself, but I'm like, oh, today I'm going to be, part of the group or part of the clique or whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel the most authentic when I wear my natural, by far. Oh, by far, of course. And it does feel like a political statement, and it goes back to also like Black BIPOC identities, marginalized identities in general. It's your existence is political, right? Your existence is political just because, we live in a very like white supremacist society. So your existence in itself is political. So also I do feel like when I choose to wear my hair like naturally, even when in the office, even when people ask me to touch my hair and people ask me about, oh,
did you cut your hair?
And I'm like, no. And they're like,
oh, I like your short hair.
And I'm like, girl, I already told you, I am contributing to like breaking up those beauty standards. I'm contributing to breaking like stereotypes. I'm contributing to, whatever, just by being myself. And I didn't realize how much of like my anxiety of going to the office was related to microaggressions. I was like, I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to talk to this person. And I was like, wait a minute, not me experiencing microaggressions every few, you know what I mean? And I realized that that's one of the reasons why I was so stressed out, worrying about job security because your hair is a certain way. That's bonkers, right? Like, that is actually bonkers. Actually bonkers. Oh, should I go to my first interview with my afro? I'm gonna be in a meeting with like higher up. Should I cut my locks? Should I wear a wig? From now on, should I wear my hair in a different style because my coworkers are gonna comment? Isn't that ridiculous? That's ridiculous. And this is not to say that we're not like, I don't want to switch it up. That's not what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, of course, you do whatever is best for you. If you feel more confident, that's perfectly fine. But there was this compilation of like Black men going to a salon getting their locks. It was a video of Black men getting their locks cut and it being like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. And I'm like, not everybody cutting their locks. Like, what does that tell me about the state of, the social context that we are? And that's also a difficult exercise to do. And it can be a hard pill to swallow when you're like, not me still having biases. Not me still holding on to like certain things and not necessarily realizing. When I see someone like a Black woman, let's say with her natural hair, do I make a comment as much when her hair is more like kinky like mine? Not me complimenting more people that have like a looser curl pattern. What? And it's difficult. It's not easy. When you're in a lot of like, you watch a lot of videos about like Black hair content, you see how there's often the discussion of like, oh, the awkward phase, the ugly phase with like locks, when like locks are like shorter and whatnot, when your hair is like a smaller afro. And like, that's called ugly phase. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is it really, or is it because our perception, once again, of what is considered beautiful and attractive is something that is long and goes down like this? Do we have a bias here? We might have a bias. I'm transitioning into a phase of my life where I see makeup as expression. Like, I feel, when I put my makeup on, I feel creative. I feel like I'm expressing myself, and that's what I really want to focus on. less than like the beauty aspect, but I do feel some pressure that when I come to stream that I should have makeup on. And I talk about that in my video as well, where I talk about wearing my natural hair, being just myself. How, and I know that other people relate to that, where it's kind of like, okay, I have my afro, but like at least let me put makeup. Like, I know that my afro doesn't have less value, and it's really cringe to say this out loud, but like, oh, well, let me uplift by doing makeup. I cannot not have makeup and have my afro at the same time. Like, how could I need to at least, kind of, but if I were to have a wig or if I were to have my braids and I didn't have makeup, it's like, oh, it's fine. It's better. And I hate to say that because it is cringe to me, and it is, like, I want to seem like confident all the time, but there is a part in my brain that tells me that, Yeah, the conclusion of all that conversation is just kind of bringing up issues of racism, of colorism, of all these like systems of oppression that disproportionately affect marginalized communities, affect Black women or people that have like multiple identities, and being gaslit into thinking that it's actually not real, and it's people preferences, it's people it's people like, oh, you're jealous, or you're, like the constant gaslighting. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves, okay? I want you to be healthy and thriving, all right? And you may not realize it. Microaggressions also take a toll on your psyche. All of a sudden, oh, should I wear my hair like this? Should I not? Are people going to comment about my hair? Are people going to comment on my weight? Are people going to connect about my appearance? Are people going to comment about that? Am I going to be, how is that interaction going to go? Like, oh, now I don't want to go to the office. Now I don't want to go to this event. Now I don't want to put my face on stream. I don't want to. Microaggressions takes a toll on the psyche. It really does. Please take care of yourselves. Please keep being yourselves. Keep doing the things that bring you joy and that make you happy and that make you feel seen.